So I saw this video in my sub box regards to Elden Ring Nightreign. It's coming out next week on the 30th, May 30th, for those unaware. And the video is titled How Elden Ring's Nightreign Combat Designer Aimed to Speed Up the Action. Shout out to Nightmare Eclipse for the sub, because for those unaware, it does not play like base Elden Ring. I got to play the beta. It is much faster. And there's mounting, so you can climb on like different parts of the environment and stuff. So like, I'm not gonna lie. If you've ever been scared to play a Souls game, this might be a good jumping on point because you get to play with friends or randoms. It's much more fast paced. So like people who like want to be cracked out, you Call of Duty fiends, you 2K heads who can't get off and play something cultured, this might be a good jumping on point. So then eventually, once you get comfortable with because the base mechanics are the same, just the speed of the game is faster. Maybe then you'll feel more comfortable trying something different. I also got some Lies of P stuff after this, but we're finna check out this video. It's 14 minutes. I'm gonna put this on 1.5 because this is a long ass video, but we're gonna see. Is this crossplay? That is a good question. I don't remember. Is Elden Ring Nightreign crossplay? Blah, blah, blah. No, it is not crossplay. So keep that in mind. If you're playing on PlayStation 5, you're on PlayStation 5. If you're playing on PC, you're on PC. And if you're on PS4, well, expect your house to blow up. All right, let's see what we got here. So is it more like Sekiro? There's a class where you can parry, but no, it's not. It's just like a more, it's literally Elden Ring if it was made by like Gen Alpha, like fucking iPad kids. It's just more fast paced. Because the goal is there's 3 days it's round based. It's a roguelite. So there's 3 days every session. Day 1, you run through the environment, you fight waves of enemies, you fight mini bosses, and then at the end of day 1 at night, you fight the main boss. If you survive the night, you do the same thing through the day. For day 2, you level up, then fight the night boss, and the boss on the second night is a little bit harder. You survive that, you get to day 3, and you get to fight the main boss, and then at the end, you get a bunch of crazy loot that you can bring into the next round. I believe the sessions lasted from like 15 to 30 minutes, so like it's not a big time commitment either. Whether you're winning or losing, it's something that you can just hop on, play with your friends, and then get off. And I think that's what's cool. That's gonna be different about the formula. But let's start this video because it's long. Let's see. I'm gonna do 1.2.
Can you just describe what it's like working at From Software and getting to work on such highly acclaimed titles like Elden Ring and
Avengers Doomsday got pushed back. As long as it's fire, I don't care.
I myself have previously a huge Souls fan. I'm a big fan of these games and what the company's made. So it's a huge honor to get to work on such titles, and as well as the fun of creating these games, I do feel a little bit of pressure and responsibility from the fans who enjoy these games as well.
You should. Don't fuck it up.
There's a lot of really subtle differences between the combat mechanics of base Elden Ring and Nightreign. Can you talk a little bit about why you felt like you should?
Also, this is class-based. You don't get to make your own character. You don't get to make your own character. It's 8 different classes at launch, and each has 2 abilities. But you can use any weapon with any class. So like you'll find weapons throughout your little runs or whatever. So this game is going to reward people who are versatile too.
Multiplayer game like Nightreign, and how the resulting gameplay fits Nightreign's fast-paced multiplayer style a little bit better.
So,
the changes for the design of Nightreign. Well, first, let Miyazawa-san give a little introduction to the general design of Nightreign itself. As you know, it uses Elden Ring as a base for the design. So the world and a lot of the assets and the base combat flow comes from Elden Ring. But while it does use it as a base for enemies and such, this is one area that we wanted to focus on Nightreign, was how we encounter these enemies. And
will it be customization for the classes? At the
more stimulus checks because someone in the chat just got donated a sub.
Yo, shout out to Jiggle Them Balls with the Get This subs. I believe there's gonna be some level of customization. What is it? I'm not sure. I do know at the end of every run, if you win, like day 3, you get items that you get to keep and you can carry it into another round. I don't know what those items do. I don't know if they're cosmetic, if they're perks or something like that. That I don't have clarification on. Maybe they'll explain it in this video though.
The abilities you can use. And so having Elden Ring as a base allowed us to branch out and experiment in these other areas and make it into something that stood out from Elden Ring and became its new thing. while the game
Shout out
base
to that
is,
nigga in the chat.
Shout out to Luke Thug Walker with the sub.
we wanted to create a
Here.
gameplay
So
experience
you a
that was
real
ultimately
ass
very
nigga
different.
for that, my
Elden
nigga.
Ring is a much more slow-paced, a lot more sort of open-ended. You take your time and carefully go through the world. But Nightreign is what we're calling a short RPG. So there are some constraints here. For example, the 3-day, 3-night time aspect. The limitations on the player. But at the same time as putting these limitations on the player in terms of structure, we wanted to allow them some freedom points that they didn't otherwise have with Elden Ring. So the way they traverse the map, they can sprint, they can climb rocks.
Yeah, there's no horse in this. You're not gonna get a horse like in base Elden Ring. Every character can sprint, and there's no stamina when you're sprinting. So like every character is gonna move like Sonic the Hedgehog. And I'm not gonna lie, I liked it. I thought it was fun. It was different.
Walls quickly. There's no fall damage compared to Elden Ring. While we put these constraints on the players from a structural point of view, we wanted to open up and allow them this freedom from a gameplay point of view as well. So it was about creating that balance and that contrast. In terms of status leveling and how the player character, how the players build their character.
What up, Neji?
With Elden Ring, of course, you had a character creation and building from the very start. But with Nightreign, you select from a preset character as a sort of archetype to start with, and then you're free to change your weapons, change your equipment, and change your playstyle a little bit on the fly. So while you could start as a tank, you don't necessarily have to fulfill that tank role.
Literally what I just said, like whatever the character starts with, that's not how you have to end. Like you'll find treasure chests all over the place because you'll be looting and shooting. And then if you have a versatile playstyle and you find something you like, you can use it. It's just your abilities won't change.
To enjoy the role play of each character, more from their sort of character traits and their abilities than a sort of preconceived notion, a sort of approach. And we also wanted to reduce the amount of time players spend in the menu, actually, within the game. So instead of carefully checking their stats and going through the leveling process, it's a lot more on the fly, it's a lot more ad hoc, and we wanted to reduce and condense these elements that we found in our previous games, but in a tighter, more compact experience.
You hear that? If you're scared of the menus, I know some of y'all 2K niggas, y'all really struggle to play RPGs because you got to read menus, stat bonuses, and stuff like that. He just confirmed you don't got to read that much, okay? I don't got to read. You're gonna have to do some reading, but not as much. It's more casual. Yo, shout out to Monty with the sub. Appreciate it.
Short-form RPG experience for Nightreign. So those are just a few of the aspects that we've tried to consider when approaching this from a multiplayer co-op standpoint.
The boss that we got to check out today as we were playing was the Equilibrious Beast. What sticks out to you about that boss fight?
They showing different bosses.
Night Lord
That's fire. You could drop an AoE fucking asteroid strike. Who the fuck did that?
そうですね。まあナイトレインではですね、まあ結構ボスの個性。
So for this particular boss battle, obviously for each boss battle in the game, we're trying to give them their own idiosyncrasies and their own unique touches to make them stand apart and feel original. And we wanted each of them to feel like their own experience. So with Libra in particular.
Oh, that's the thing. It was in the first. It was in Elden Ring. Which, by the way, because I played the beta, just so you guys know, the way it works when you're playing with friends, if you get knocked down, the first time you'll get up pretty fast. But every time you get knocked down to your knees, it takes longer to get back up. And the way it works is your friends have to come over and hit you in the back while you're on your knees. And like this bar will fill up right here specifically. And once it's full, you'll get back up. But every time you go down, it takes longer and longer. So if you stay on your knees, you are going to, the point I'm trying to make is this game is going to create some funny moments. If you fucking suck, you're going to drag the team down. Yep. Revival by back shots. Revival by back shots. Yo, shout out to Eli with the sub. We all need a few back shots, you know?
We kind of added this trade-off feature that takes place before the battle. And of course, this can allow the players to acquire a new special weapon or a significant level up or something.
There's the customization right there.
Being the nature of Libra and the nature of the game, it's not always going to...
So you are going to get like new custom weapons and
so
shit.
We wanted to create this interesting risk-reward sort of feature for this particular boss.
まあといったような戦闘前のですね。
Why do people
As for
resubscribe
the
to the
actual
idea of
experience
Shadow
during
having
Shout out
a
to King with the sub. Appreciate it.
Nature of
wields
Libra
that
to be
type of
reflected
power?
in the game.
This boss is cool.
So this sort of duality aspect of the character, both in terms of its appearance and its behavior. So we wanted to give it a sort of a two-type moveset. So first it has the sorceries and traps that can kind of confuse and trick the player.
Is this a Dark Souls boss? I've never seen this. This isn't an Elden Ring. Is this a Dark Souls boss, chat? Anybody know?
And then also the sort of more power and damage-focused attacks that come as well. So we wanted this this duality to reflect both in its appearance and the pre-battle and the gameplay experience as well.
They show the Sekiro dude yet?
Classes. What
Not
goes
to my
into
knowledge.
designing a character class for Nightreign? Are you looking to fill?
Nah, it's new, so there will be new content. That's fire.
Idea for a skill and then design a class based around that, or what does that process really look like?
You on this day one? Absolutely. We on this day one next week. Absolutely. I don't care what I'm playing next
An
week.
orthodox approach we took.
New
to
beat tapes
character
fire.
design
Appreciate it, Red.
Similar to what we started with in Elden Ring. So, for instance, we start with these kind of general roles or role titles for each of the characters, such as the tank we mentioned earlier, or a mage type. So we start with these very general
Shout out to Nice with the sub.
bases for the character archetype, and then from the director we get an idea of the characters and their sort of individuality and the sorts of abilities that they're going to use and things like this.
その上でですね、まあスキルやアーツなどの、
Just to give one example of that, you might have used her in the network test or in your play session, the Recluse. Her archetype actually started as a mage, a magic user, plain and simple. But from there, we started to think about and discuss, what's fun.
How we feeling about Ultron? We're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. I'm doing the Souls section right now. A lot of Souls news since the last stream.
Intellect to kind of suss out the enemy and its weaknesses and sort of piece them.
I know the Elden Ring haters are seething over the past 3 years. I know, right? Like, imagine being a 2K nigga tired of hearing from your one friend who played Elden Ring. That shit is cultured as fuck. Like, this game will not go away. 3 years in a row, it could be potentially nominated for Game of the Year. That's what happens when you make a good game. Game got nominated for Game of the Year 2 times, bro. And niggas like, I'm not playing that shit, bro. I'm playing 2K26, bro. That's crazy.
Of course, just blasting magic is fun in itself.
You can lead the horse to the water. The water could be the fountain of youth, and they still not gonna drink it. And say they bored.
System around that new kind of concept of a mage. And
You told Chad about the story games too? Nah, I didn't. I can show him what I'm talking about. Hold up. I gotta open the group chat. I'm not gonna show it on stream. It's a video I saw. Because Ethos brought it up in the chat, I'll show it real quick before we get back to this. There's a video that hit my TikTok. It was a woman talking about story games, and I couldn't figure out if she was rage baiting or if she was being dead ass serious. And Ethos argued that she was being serious. So I'm gonna show y'all the video, and y'all let me know. The gist of the argument was she thought all video games were multiplayer, basically. She didn't understand that there are single player video games. And I was confused by that. Cause like, even if you don't play video games have always been, they started off as single player. Metroid was a story. Super Mario had a story. Like, what are we talking about? Here it is.
If you know anything about video games, please explain this to me. The Last of Us is based off a video game, right? What do you guys mean, oh, this happens in the game? Because to my knowledge,
Blank screen? Oh shit, hold on. Let me download the video. I don't know why it's showing a blank screen. Oh, you know what it is? It might be Signal blocking the screen by default. That's kind of fire. Like, is it a privacy setting on Signal? What the fuck? I'm gonna just close it out. Here, I downloaded it. That's kind of fire.
About video games, please explain this to me.
I see it now.
Last of Us is based off a video game, right? What do you guys mean? Oh, this happened.
Hey, hold up. I gotta pause the video. I did not even know that was a feature. Yo, my dumbass, every time I bring up Signal to pull something up from the group chat, I always put it on my second monitor before I show it. I didn't even know there was a privacy screen. So just in case I ever accidentally open the group chat, you niggas can't see it anyway. All right. Shout out to Signal, but let me bring it back. Except for when Hexeth uses it. He's a bitch ass nigga.
If you know anything about video games, please explain this to me. The Last of Us is based off a video game, right? What do you guys mean, oh, this happens in the game? Because of my knowledge, to my knowledge,
in the chat.
Oh my god! Shout out to With Ease with the sub.
Rough out
player
here.
by
So
player,
you a
case
real
by
ass
case
nigga
thing.
for that, my
Like when
nigga.
guys are on 2K, Call of Duty, all that stuff, isn't it like each player's own experience? I don't get, oh, this happens to Joel in the game, or Ellie does this in the game. So the whole plot is the same for every player. It's like how
My coworker asked me the same thing. So people really think like this? Like, am I so entrenched in gaming culture? Like, I thought she was rage baiting. Because we've reached this point in society where people do this shit, bruh. You said normies do not get it. This is crazy. This is breaking news to me. Okay, so let me, because some of you, I'm not gonna lie, some of you niggas might be sitting in the chat, 2K niggas. Some of the best written stories are in video games. It's like a good book, and it's probably hard for you to grasp because you don't read. But yes, in a single player game, we all experience the same thing, and then we hop in the Discord around the water cooler and we discuss what we got out of the fucking story. It's like going to see a good movie, but you get to interact with the movie. This is crazy. I didn't know people didn't.
This should be enough money for TBH to cop a brick from Dr. Eggman.
I really do not.
You are missing out on things that could inspire you.
How is it a game? So do you only play it one time since you know what's gonna happen? I really don't understand. I don't understand.
You can play through it multiple times. This is why games are being adapted into movies is smart. It's intriguing the audience. Yeah, well, hopefully she becomes a gamer because it sounds like she's at least halfway interested, right? Maybe she'll play The Last of Us. This is why they keep remastering the game, unfortunately. Maybe she'll play The Last of Us and it'll get her into gaming. She low-key could be a gamer and she doesn't even know it because she was unaware because, unfortunately, it sounds like she only dates 2K niggas. So she thinks everything's fucking multiplayer. She acting like nobody watches movies a second time. And this is why I thought potentially it could be rage bait. I'm like, is she trolling or not? And I see some of you niggas in the chat. Yo, chill. She fine. Let it slide. I didn't say I was mad. You niggas is ready to simp, bro. Ready to fucking simp. I didn't say I had a problem. I was just confused. I thought she was rage bait. I was like, what the fuck is this shit, bro? Be like, yo, chill. She fine, bro. Let it go. Like, we gonna let it slide. So I was unaware of that. So I mean, if you got friends out there that have never played single player games out there, maybe you need to say it nice and slow. Maybe we need to start explaining to people so that they can embrace. Because like I said, you could be potentially missing out on something that could potentially be your favorite thing of all time because you're unaware of the experience. It's unfortunate to hear that for some people, that audience is the ambassador to the gaming community. People who sit in the park 24/7. They don't represent us, guys. Play Expedition 33 or something. You might like it. I had a hard time believing that video because like my father was born in 68. My mother was born in 70. They know video games have stories. And they come from the era of fucking Super Mario, like the NES, the original NES. So like that's why I had a hard time believing it. I'm like, people just walking around. Like, what do you think we're doing? Yo, shout out to Mr. Shofi with the $2 super chat. He said 2K is too immersive to leave. You notice? That shit is not immersive. That shit is aggravating. They're just ignorant. Honest, it might just be legit ignorance. I had no idea. Well, I will do my part to try to share the gospel. Shout out to Mayor. What up, Mayor, man? I appreciate you, bro. Let's get back to this that's what they call Duty, Elden Ring shit.
またもう一つの側面として、本作の
I was talking to a coworker and she said video games is just twiddling your thumbs. I'm like, what do you do when you watch movies? Yeah, well, that's a different conversation. I hate that. That's those people that say gaming is for kids. That's a stupid argument. Those be the same people that watch the Zeus Network. Isn't it ironic that people who watch the Zeus Network, a network based off of God, those are the most ungodly people on earth? If you watch baddies or anything else on the Zeus Network, there's nothing godly about the way you moving in life. Shut the fuck up, bro. And they're like, you play video games? You watch baddies? Like, what the fuck are we talking about? You watch fucking chicks fight for 30 minutes for hours at a time.
Another aspect of our approach to the class design
that shit is ungodly.
How you engage with
back to what who's doing though.
Multiplayer environment. So of course, Nightreign is a 3-player co-op game.
Zeus Network, never heard of it. Don't look for it either.
Characters to be interesting, both from a solo and.
It's the shade room of television.
So one example of this could be the restage skill of the Duchess. Obviously, this is very powerful, a very powerful skill when you're playing in solo.
Very powerful.
But if you're going to take it to the next level,
the battlefield commander.
To watch what your allies are doing, watch for when they're doing some big damage, and then restage their attack patterns and get some extra damage that way. So it really encourages.
Video games require more brain power than a lot of other casual hobbies. That's true. Although I could also make the argument that brain power is on the decline because like more games, especially multiplayer, a lot of games these days are designed around trying to appease casual audiences. And then they get mad when it doesn't sell well because the casual audience is the most fickle. It's hard to make like a hardcore game because some people just won't give it a chance. It doesn't matter how many rewards it makes. Awards. Did you see the church moment with Disney Dale? Nah, what's that?
Of co-op play.
This is.
I mean, Call of Duty is a prime example of just putting dumb shit all in the game
pre-made classes that each
to
have
attract people.
Does that have any effect, or does it raise any challenges with regards to how you design bosses or enemy encounters, knowing the powerful tools?
Do you get auto revive when the boss is defeated? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know.
In terms of each character's individual abilities and their ultimates and skills, we didn't want to have that kind of dictate how we approach the enemy design or encounter design, and vice versa as well. We didn't want
I think that's why I'm so into Souls games lately. They make you think. Nah, facts.
We wanted to concentrate on these characters and making them feel unique and fun to play as in and of themselves first and foremost, rather than having these encounters and these boss battles sort of affect that negatively. And
This killed me. All right, let's see what Ethos linked. Metaphor on Game Pass next week. Really? Shout out to Metaphor. When we were trying to figure out if this was Chip or Dale, but we got a sermon instead. What? This man addicted to this fucking TikTok shit.
Okay. Scoot it over. Thank you. Okay.
All right. Yes.
Right. Yes, let's see.
Write it down. Scripture says, write it down, make it plain.
Julius Randle just kicked the ref.
Hallelujah. Amen.
Amen. God is good.
All the time.
This motherfucker bored at work all the time. That's definitely a black person under there. That's fucking funny. Problem is, people look up videos on how to do shit. Yeah, see, and that's a good point too. So, like, to add on to what I was saying, the problem is a lot of games are being made more casual, but then on top of that, you got a lot of people who they won't even try.
Now I can afford a retwist for my locks.
They won't even try. Like, it's one thing to get stuck and then go on YouTube and look how to get past something. But it's like motherfuckers be sitting with the monitor open on the YouTube video set on the second monitor, just be watching how to play the fucking. I'm like, bro, turn Radbrad off, enjoy the game. Well, what kind of, like, the day the game comes out, niggas be in my chat talking about what kind of build are you trying to make. I don't even know what kind of builds are in the game. The question is, how do you?
One loyal fan base.
The only reason you know is you had to have been watching somebody.
Dumbasses to me.
I'm just saying, bro. How'd you know where that sword was? Just play the fucking game. You don't want to enjoy the mystery of shit?
impact the fun. One area we did.
I hope the Knicks lose so we can get more hilarious moments. Nah, facts.
Within each character, you might have somebody who feels it's their duty to try and protect the others during a difficult boss fight, or try and distract the enemies, the ads during a certain boss fight. Something like this was a feature of the pre-made designs that we can include in Nightreign that maybe we didn't experiment with too much in previous titles.
Experiment too much.
Of course, another aspect is...
I'm just saying, video was great, by the way. I appreciate it.
Three-person team. We did want to make the bosses feel particularly hardcore from that standpoint as well. So they will use...
Yeah, especially because some of these bosses are repeat. They better be hard as hell. I want this shit to be challenging.
Very large-scale attacks. They will use certain abilities that will inhibit or restrict the player, or kind of put a sort of urgency to their moves, like the timer that's inflicted on them in the Gladius boss fight. Things like this, we really wanted to make them feel unique and imposing in each their own way.
And then you mentioned the Duchess ability and comboing that with a very strong ability that one of your allies will use. Do you have any other favorite ability combos or synergies from the available character classes?
そうですね。いくつか例を挙げますと、例えば
Another example I could give is the Raider character, whose ultimate he raises a giant tombstone from the earth. This itself does damage to the enemies and bosses, but at the same time, the different characters can clamber up atop it.
I wish they would have showed the enemy he just mentioned, lifting rocks from the ground and shit. We fighting earthbenders.
Reviving a character by shooting them with long-range attacks. Something like this. We feel that there's a nice breadth and synergy that you can kind of experiment with each of these characters.
お気に入りのコンボとしてはですね、ネットワーク
A more general example is the Recluse, who you could also use in the network test. Her ultimate art actually marks enemies, puts the sort of seal on them, which grants you HP and your teammates HP as you attack. So this
I didn't even know you could do that. JG never did that shit. What a fake magician.
used in conjunction with high damage output or fast subsequent attacks from your teammates could be very effective at healing the team, keeping them alive. Things like this, we hope players will really have fun experimenting and playing around with these different combinations.
Was the Libra boss battle inspired by...
Only Watts was doing it right. Hey, that's why I stuck to the basic sword character, bro. I'm trying to be an asset to the team.
Well, we can't speak to any specific titles or names. One of the main inspirations for the Libra boss battle was this sort of massively multiplayer raid battle sort of focus. So
give me a big-ass axe or a big-ass hammer.
Coming together to fight this boss battle together. This involves not
only
only
Unga Bunga build,
exciting and dangerous elements of that fight, but also the puzzle elements as well, sort of figuring out the right time to attack. figuring out the time
Peace out, Dark Rise.
figuring out the different elements to this boss fight. So we wanted it to feel like an intelligent boss design rather than just
They're like you
more
fighting an
every
Illuminati
sort of
bodyguard or some shit.
Personally, what Nightreign character is your favorite to play, and what is a build that you really hope players will dig into and enjoy?
そうですね。まあ僕自身が好きな
A personal favorite of Miyazawa's is the Guardian.
The Diddy
Avian
bodyguard.
type knight character with a shield. He favors a more defensy and tanky kind of build that this character archetype provides. He enjoys being able to both attack and defend at the same time, or provide that kind of bulwark and that area of safety for his team. And he feels like if players are not so keen on the fast dodge rolling and sort of,
Am I going to try to play Dust Bloods? If I can get my hands on a Switch, but I'm not really sweating it. That's not coming until 2026.
Team aspect and able to enjoy the battle in that sense as well.
Yeah, this drop next week on the 30th.
まあこのキャラクターを使ってしまうとこのボスには勝てないみたいな
But generally, we designed the game to be for the players to be able to beat it as any character. So we wanted them to feel like they could choose a character they liked, either from an ability standpoint or from an appearance or backstory standpoint, and beat the game just in their own playstyle and with a character they enjoy. That said, balance is still important, and there's the team synergy we talked to, finding a
I believe it's only 42.
a tank type character, a mage type character, and a damage deal type character. This is often important, as is the boss selection that you make as well. So sometimes a different night mode boss fight will encourage a different synergy or a different sort of group of roles, a different team composition. So we want players to enjoy figuring out these aspects and experiment with various characters, and while they're doing that, find some that really resonate with them. We really wanted both the boss characters, these encounters, and the player characters themselves to feel unique, each in their own way. And we wanted it to feel unique enough that players can go back to the game and approach with another character entirely.
Will it be its own download in the store? Correct. Yeah, it's a separate game. It's not Elden Ring DLC. It's a completely different game. Yo, shout out to M Beats with the sub. Appreciate it.
So even if they've beaten the boss with the Guardian, they might want to go back and try it as the Recluse and see what other tricks they can come up with. Players also might enjoy doing a free Recluse team. So tripling up on a certain character and seeing what kind of crazy stunts they can come up with. So I'm really looking forward to that aspect of the game.
I will say when IGN does these little IGN first, it's usually a sign that they think the game is going to be good. It's just hard to gauge with this one because it doesn't matter whether or not Elden Ring Nightreign is good, because Elden Ring's in the title is going to get views. So I would say take this with a grain of salt. There's no way to know until the game comes out. Also, they gassed up Sonic Frontiers. That shit was ass. I don't care what nobody says. You Sonic fans like it. I don't. But usually, I would say when they do these IGN first, that means they believe the game's gonna be good. No, you don't need the base Elden Ring for this. It's a different game. It's a completely different game. Imagine you had to beat Consort Radon to get access to this. That would be fucking funny, bruh. It'd be a lot of people who weren't playing. It'd be a lot of people. Let me turn my shit back on though. Other Elden Ring looks cool though. 30th. It'll be out next week. Other Elden Ring news. This literally just came out like 30 minutes before I started streaming. I was like, oh, let me go ahead and add this to the notes. Alex Garland is set to direct the live action Elden Ring movie for A24. It is official. There is an Elden Ring movie coming. A24 has now confirmed there's been what's been rumored for weeks, that Alex Garland will write and direct a live action Elden Ring film for A24 and the video game company Bandai Namco. This comes following the release of Warfare, his A24 Iraq war pick directed with Ray Mendoza, which was grossed over $32 million since opening last month. Never heard of it. Peter Rice is set to produce alongside Andrew McDonald and Alan Wright from DNA, as well as George R.R. Martin and Vince Gerardis. Released to critical. Yeah, we know about the game. They're just yapping about the game. I'm not familiar with his with this director. What else has he made? How we feeling about this, bro? How we feeling about this? Let's see. IMDb. He did Civil War. Wait, is that MAGA movie that came out last year? Was this good? I'm seeing a lot of 6s and 7s, Trey. I don't know. We can't be having no 6 out of 10 director on one of my favorite games. Yes, it's very good. So wait, is it a bait and switch? Because the trailer looked like some MAGA bullshit, but it was actually good. It's very good. Okay. I'll take your word for it. So this rate ain't correct. This rating ain't correct. I like Civil War. It was not MAGA. So the trailer's a bait and switch. This is the only thing I know from him. He's worked on Devil May Cry, the games. Interesting. Oh, wait. He worked on A Slave Odyssey to the West. Okay, hold on. He might have some clout, y'all. Criminally underrated game. Okay, he might have some clout. Nah, it's crazy because at first I was like, this shit ain't accurate, but after these past couple of months, I feel that. It's hard to imagine a live action Elden Ring. I don't know what to expect from it. And then also what from an action standpoint, I don't know what to expect. But then on the flip side too, is it going to be a like a 3-part trilogy? I don't see a world where they tell the story of a Tarnished running through every boss in like 2 hours. I feel like that would have to be multiple parts because there's so much content, but maybe they don't actually maybe they do something completely different. I don't know. We're going to reserve judgment until the trailer comes out. Millennia's got to take a few episodes. Right. That's a whole Frieza arc right there. Like that's a whole Frieza arc. I just don't understand how they would break it into parts because there's so much amazing content. And if they skip out on one particular fight that people loved, I can see that pissing people off. But, you know, at least George is writing for it. It looks like they got a decent director. We'll see how it plays out. We probably won't hear anything from this for like another 2 years, like a trailer. Maybe a year from now, we get some like, you know, screenshots of them on set filming or something like that, like, you know, what the outfits look like, but you probably won't see a trailer for like another 2 years. But no, it's coming. Remember where you heard it here first. No, it's coming. I have no faith in this. I'm gonna reserve judgment. Yeah, I'm gonna reserve judgment. Night of Black Knives live action could be peak. It could be. Only time will tell. Other Souls news I got for you is the Liza P DLC. Shout out to Okami. He tweeted out, I guess there were some previews and he summarized the preview of what people were saying in the articles from the preview events. So according to Kami, the Liza P Overture DLC difficulty options are being added to the game. It will no longer just be hard. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. There will be an easy difficulty for people who just want to experience the game. Not gonna lie, if you play on easy, you're a bitch. They have a Mickey mode now. There will be normal and there will be hard. What I'm trying to gauge is, yo, shout out to BT with the sub. What I'm trying to gauge is what will be the difference between normal and hard. Is normal what the base game was, and then hard is something harder than what the base game was? Or is hard the new normal and normal is just some new setting, period? This is why I don't like difficulty settings in the Soul shit. This shit should just be fucking hard. And if you can't hack it, oh well. Not everybody's built to be an Army Ranger. Not everybody's built to be a Navy SEAL, okay? We Navy SEALs over here. That's what it is, okay? Go play 2K. Stop. Either way is Mickey. Yeah, no training wheels. Ethos, you didn't even beat the game. Don't talk about this shit. You didn't play it. Glad I went back to beat the Nameless Puppet before this shit came out. Facts. So roughly 15 to 20 hours is pretty much going to be a whole new game. New weapons, including a gunblade, talon claws, and a royal bow. 2 new boss challenge modes being added. Battle memories, take on any previously boss so you can fight other bosses, whatever. Laugh my ass off like I just finished Expedition, my parry fingers. You can't talk about it. You need to beat this game. This game is peak. You need to beat it. Death March, select. I beat Kazan too. Like, when you gonna catch up? You and JG ain't beat Kazan. You didn't beat Elden Ring. I remember y'all remember 2019, 2020. Niggas was talking shit. But the only people in GI who really been some Souls hitters is me and Siggy. I don't know, man. It's looking a little spooky in GI. I don't know. Let's see. Death March, select 3 or more bosses to fight back to back to back. Interesting. New arm attach. Here you go. Bringing up old shit. New arm attachment. We talking about what did you do today? We gonna update the tier list. I'm $6. It's a new tier. I mean, new bosses, enemies, and areas. A prequel set before the puppet craze, and the DLC begins in a zoo filled with mutated animals. Releasing this summer for $30. Oh, it's only $30 too. Nice. You said and Watts. New. Oh, we got screenshots too. Is there a new trailer? Yo, I'm loving the level design in this shit.
Resubscribe.
Oh, Max got to play it. Hold up. Yo, shout out to Jiggy with the sub. Appreciate it. And shout out to Willie with the sub. Let's see what Max got to say.
This should be enough money for TBH to cop a brick from Dr. Eggman.
Put this on 1 point. Yeah, he got the footage. Hold up. I didn't know this. It didn't come out yet. This is a preview.
What's up, dudes? Max here. So over the past week or so, I had a unique opportunity to check out an early release of Lies of P Overture, which is the new DLC expansion that's coming out for
this
Lies
look
of
fire?
P.
Yeah, this art design is fire.
Really crazy. And thanks to NeoWiz, we got a quick preview session of some new modes, some new gameplay stuff, a lot of new weapons and things like that. So kind of wanted to break things down, seeing as Lies of P was my personal game of the year back in.
Yo, hold on. This gunblade kind of tough, bruh. And it's a BBC. I might have to rock this.
Yeah, pretty excited about
this. About to be Dante.
I think my overall impressions of this session just leave me to be excited all over again. And I'm going to talk about
my childhood YouTuber. I met Max. He's real cool. I can rarely say that about a lot of content creators, but like I just walked up to him and spoke to him like a few months ago. It was at a Capcom event. He was real cool, like down to earth. I sat right next to him. A lot of people be Hollywood, but Max cool.
Scenarios we got to play. One of them was
them Final Fantasy VIII Squall Blade
modes in Lies of P Overture that are specifically there to sort of enhance the experience from the core game leading into the DLC. And that is new challenge mode stuff, where there's a mode called like Battle Memories, and it allows you to fight.
You get a machine gun on the bow and
right out the whim. You don't have to like run back.
You get a switch on the bow and arrow.
You just progress through like 5 difficulty tiers of
super
bosses.
Chats are just a known form of glazing. That means for every donation TBH gets, I get the chance to glaze. I mean, gaze into Sonic's dreamy green eyes.
Yo, shout out to Banky with the $10 super chat. He said, hit the like button, hit the fucking like button. And since Amy was speaking, I just remembered. This morning I read issue 3 of the crossover between DC and Sonic came out. If y'all are into that shit, I read issue 3. It's pretty fucking fire. I actually hope they animate it. It's somehow it works. Somehow it works. The Sonic crew teaming up with the Justice League. It's pretty fire. Look into it.
And the first 3 are initially available.
Reverse Flash got cooked. Yeah.
That boss and, getting the harder challenge unlocks. And then there's also a thing called, I think it was called Death March, where you can fight a whole bunch of different bosses with like different health items and all this like stipulations, but like a whole bunch of them in like a row in a way. So you can sort of set up like a 3-boss scenario if you wanted. From these situations, they presented different bosses that we had normally played in what was a campaign snippet of the Krot Zoo that is going to be appearing in Lies of P Overture. And I'm going to talk about that in a second, but the more important thing is that, now I don't want to get into too many specifics and details about these bosses, but some of them had some pretty interesting sort of like mechanical nuance.
What is the art and absolute Wonder Woman go so hard? It's tough. I don't know.
Puppet boss. And a whole bunch of that was a lot of like managing your...
I can see this game getting a show or a movie. You know, it's funny. I do believe this would be an easier thing to adapt in comparison to Elden Ring, because the problem with Elden Ring is it's so lore driven. It's just like notes and NPCs telling things, and then you have to put it together and it creates a story. Versus Lies of P is a pretty straightforward story, and I can see this being like an anime. I can see it.
Managing your camera.
Yeah, this is Max.
Against which one do I focus on type of stuff, which I thought was kind of a cool dynamic and took a little while to get used to, but once you get used to it, it's pretty satisfying.
Shout out to Prime with the sub.
Demo that is very Ludwig-like is all I'll say. And I absolutely loved it. Didn't get the chance to like beat all of these even on the base difficulty because they were really hard and we were sort of getting reacclimated to the buttons and controls of anything and everything of Lies of P. But I was super impressed by all 3 bosses. That
art design's fire.
Had a very different tone. All 3 of them were doing things differently mechanically throughout each one too, and they were very refined.
Shout out to Royal Static with the sub.
I'm going to be saying a lot throughout my initial play session of Lies of P Overture in this preview is that this feels really refined and really polished.
Yeah, Lies of P is based on Pinocchio.
Already an extremely polished game. That was Lies of P in its vanilla state. So outside of that, yeah, new modes, new cool stuff. There is a thing that they're adding to the game, which is an overall like difficulty slider or difficulty settings. Going to be a new base game patch that even allows you to change 2 new difficulty settings, which are called like Butterfly's Guidance and Awakened Puppet. And they're for people that are just looking for a more story-focused experience. And the default game setting is called, I believe, Legendary Stalker. So that's the one that we kind of played initially when the game came out and what we played in this demo. So that's
Watts be destroying your ass in Souls-like games, though. Watts don't get off the game, though. That's different, bro. She be streaming 14 hours a day. I don't want to hear that shit. Shout out to Watts. I'd be good at the game, too, if I was on it 14 hours a day.
People to play the game on like easier difficulties, more health.
I hope she's a beast.
Like just access to see stuff that's in the game that leads you on the adventure. So I have no issue against that, but I pretty much played on the default. And yeah, it's challenging, man. I was definitely getting beat up quite a bit.
This is fine. Is this like a propeller
really love the
blade?
So you begin the campaign demo in like a snowy area, And oh yeah, by the way, that's a freaking gunblade. Just straight up, the main character has a gunblade now, and there's a lot of other weapons that
I ain't gonna hold you. I might be on this right here.
The
gunblade.
Some of them are like boss weapons that come with their own intrinsic like physics and abilities, while others are the usual like crafting, putting one piece of a weapon together with the other and getting a multitude of abilities, which was similar to the initial game in Lies of P. But yeah, the gunblade I kind of stuck with throughout the majority of it, and one other weapon, and I had a lot of fun. But it's not what you think it is. It's not like a normal weighted sword. It's very much a heavy sword, like almost like a great sword situation. So, but I liked it. A lot of cool mobility, all of its extra attacks, allow you to move around a lot more. That's very fun and obviously quite inspired. But yeah, getting back to the level design, it's great, man. It's obviously super linear levels with, you know, basic enemy character placement similar to a Souls-like. But I just love the storytelling progression. You begin like in the woods, in the snow, as you're making your way through, learning more, seeing more as it comes, and you like crest the horizon and see Krot Zoo in this great big like epic landscape shot, which I just, you know, love about these games. So
finally getting the golden age of the Souls, like the golden age.
And there's a bunch of like deformed and crazy animals. There's like a giant dead giraffe that is just like in the background as a set piece.
I just like any game that has like a snow level, bro. I don't know what it is. Like snow just works in games, dude.
It's cool, man. It just fits the vibe of the initial Lies
You need to beat the game to play this. I believe not. I believe this because it's a prequel. I think you need to get like halfway through the game to access the DLC. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure you don't need to beat it because it takes place before this game, the main game.
And I was sort of getting the feeling as I was playing through this and being reminded that, man, like I played a lot of other Souls-like since this came out, and the parry window in Lies of P is really shallow. Like it's really specific. That as I was
playing snow and TBH going
with the enemies and sort of reminding myself,
not that type of snow.
Really good. You don't just have to parry everything. I was having a lot of fun, and it sort of like reminded me why I like Lies of P so much, because you had a multifaceted approach to every single boss fight, and it felt like the devs were fairly confident that people,
except for the first part of Red Dead Redemption 2, yeah, that shit was boring.
Works in Lies of P. It felt
the snow couldn't save that one.
It felt like they really knew what they were going for, and now that people are enjoying it, it's a full send commitment. Here's some crazy weapons. Here's some like new mobility with those weapons, all that kind of stuff. Also, the arms that you get, there's some pretty great like practical use ones now. I remember in Lies of P,
all these games coming out, motherfuckers pressed about GTA 6. You said it, I didn't. Be embracing everything but culture.
How you use the arms and what they were good for was kind of specific at times, and some of these had some pretty like easy to
this shit got a
damaging things that
flamethrower
like, blades or something like that, act as like a shotgun in some way. Use case scenarios that are kind of like you can just use this sort of at any point and it would just be good against most enemies, you know, instead of kind of like tailor-made situations with like the grappling hook and stuff like that. You really got to be ready for that or ready for a specific boss. But yeah, making my way through the level, it's nice. There's a lot of different paths.
Yo, this is like an alternate version of Australia where it actually snows because he fighting demon kangaroos and shit.
That's the branching paths, a lot of items, a lot of discoverability. Going indoors, outdoors, like this zoo feels massive by the time I was completing this demo, and it pretty much ends on a big boss fight that was different than the boss fights that we experienced in the different multi-bosses that we talked about earlier, the revisiting boss fights we talked about earlier.
Fighting demonic elephants and shit, mammoths, woolly mammoths.
This thing was tough. This is
now these weren't in the base game. These are new weapons.
You get in Lies of P traditionally, sort of like big creature fights and also human fights.
We going to Florida too, demonic alligators. This is in JG's backyard right now. This is where he ride to work. It's his pet.
And in that game, or at least in the base game, I really loved both of them. Some of them and the creature
long mouth
side
bitch
could get a little cumbersome.
Yo, shout the Black Hoodie with the sub.
Figuring out how to get around that would just be kind of tough, but ultimately speaking, I like them. I think there was a nice balance between one-on-one human sort of fighting and also big monster fighting, and this was definitely leaning into the big monster stuff. But I was able to beat it. It was enjoyable. It took me several times. I was trying to use as many of my resources as possible to show them off and also show off new weapons and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, if this is just going to be once again representative of the game, it feels like Lies of P, obviously once again, but clearly a lot more confident, and they're giving us a lot more tools and sort of crazy things to work with, instead of just sort of being sort of like just a heavy-handed character just moving in and out of areas sort of slowly. They want you to still be doing that, but it feels like the combat freedom is opening up a bit.
Florida man,
which is kind of what you expect out of an expansion. It very much reminds me of what Bloodborne sort of did with its expansion, that it's hard to imagine going back to, you know, the base game once you get Old Hunters. And I really hope that's the case when we get the full story of Lies of P Overture.
I better have my build when I get back,
So,
though,
that's
in the
about it. I want
game.
to give a big shout out to NeoWiz for inviting me out to allow me to play this version of the game. And I'm very much looking forward to the game when it eventually does release. I don't think we have a pinpointed release date yet as of right now. Hopefully that will get announced soon, but I think it is something.
I gotta play the base game again and remember the timing. Fuck it, we gonna raw dog it when we get in this bitch, bro. It is what it is. I mean, it's not like you're gonna be thrown straight into a boss fight. You know, you're gonna go to the first open area and just thug it out. It looked good though. This is a day one cop. It's not your kind of game, but just finished Midnight Walk. It's super creative. What is that? What's that? Do you think it's worth it to play if I'm coming off of Sekiro? Do you think it's worth to play this? This plays more like Elden Ring than Sekiro. Although the parry's kind of like Sekiro, the window's different. But I mean, yeah, if you like those type of games, yeah, you'll probably like it. Did you have to switch your build up for Elden Ring's DLC? No, I didn't, but I did because people swore I wasn't good at the game. Chat was telling me I was hard carried by the Moonveil. And I made the argument that I just liked the weapon, and then chose like, no. So I dropped the Moonveil and I just used a greatsword, a basic ass greatsword, and I beat it. Can't nobody ever say shit to me ever again. And I used the greatsword in Kazan too. So God forbid a nigga use a magic blade that's cool as hell, light up the whole fucking street. I just thought the shit was cool, but niggas was like, nah, you getting Moonveil carried. I said, watch this. I knew I wasn't getting Moonveil carried when the Coliseum came out, and I was washing niggas in the Coliseum, bro. Used a great katana. Used a great katana, actually. Whatever, that big ass BBC blade. Whatever the fuck you talking about. What did you link, bro? Bro, is a tech priest making 40K plasma weapons out of car parts and scrap metal? I want one. Bro, what the fuck? What side of the internet are you on? He making Halo guns? Ain't no way this real. This shit animated, right? This shit animated. I'm using the greatsword in Kazaa right now. This shit is definitely like a different game with that weapon. I be trying to tell people I seen that before. Ain't no way this is real, because if this was real, the government would have came and seized this shit. If this was real, fucking Trump would have people and then he black on top of that. Trump would have people on his doorstep day one seizing that shit. This ain't real. Call shield. You niggas be falling for anything. This nigga would have been disappeared, bro. Like, yeah, he using Reaper. Okay, Commander Shepard. Okay, y'all niggas be believing anything you see on the internet, bro. Trump people would have been there tomorrow. Not the same government that flooded the black neighborhoods with crack. You think they gonna let you have weapons from the Covenant in Halo? No, nigga. They don't even like your ass with a fucking pistol. Shit. They didn't like the Black Panthers patrolling their neighborhoods, protecting the people against police brutality. They think you think they gonna let a nigga have a needler? A nigga with a needler. You think that's gonna happen? A nigga with a needler. That's fucking crazy. Let me turn my beat back on. Let's talk about some more of this Liza P. Liza P director explains a U-turn on the difficulty, so he explains why they're adding an easy mode. As a Souls-like game, Liza P can be punishingly difficult, especially for inexperienced players, perhaps attracted by Liza P's dark story and setting. Director said at the time, however, the team didn't think Souls-like games should have difficulty options, and it shipped without it. Now it seems NeoWiz has changed their mind and confirmed the change was informed after the studio listened carefully to feedback from players. Oh my God, bro. That 11%, I'm not 11%. So when I beat Kazaa, the first Berserker last week, it said only 11% of people beat the game without summons. So the 89% of gamers out there that can't beat these games, that want to just do Mickey shit, summon, fucking what's that shit? The mimic tier. It sounds like they folded to the crybabies. Shit's fucking annoying, dude. Like the casuals, you guys have already ruined Call of Duty. You've ruined every other multiplayer fucking game. Now you're coming into single player games. Like I always say, if you have a piece of art that you want to create, paint your picture, bro. Stop letting casuals ruin. Get good, nigga. Get fucking good. We are people gonna learn that not everything is for everybody. Not everything is for everybody, man. We wanted to make sure a wider audience of players could play the game. Told VGC we have a whole lot of feedback from customers and from our developers. So by making development adjustments and introducing these difficulty options, we can offer the experience to different types of players. Like the game already has summons in it. And if you want to use it, I'm not going to knock it, but like it does make the game easier. Use the summons if you want to make the game easier. If you don't want to learn the boss patterns and learn how to beat the boss by yourself, go ahead and summon the character that's right outside every boss fight, and then you can jump the boss together, and then you can say, look at me, I'm playing Elden Ring, I'm playing Liza P. But my issue with it, there's already tools in these games to make them easier. My issue is now you're listening to listen, if you can't beat, fuck the video game, right? Let's talk about real life. You and your mans jump one of your ops, right? If you and your mans jump one of your ops because he was talking shit and y'all get y'all ass beat, like he soloed you, I'm going to argue you deserve to get your ass beat because you don't know how to fight. So let's relate that to video games. There are already tools. One thing every Souls game has is they all have summons. It's always right outside the boss fight. If you can't beat the boss jumping them with an NPC, you need to play something else. It's not for you. Why are you ruining it for everybody else, bruh? Listening to losers. That's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you, this everybody gets a trophy mentality is ruining shit. I agree with your take, but I don't think the extra difficulty changes anything for us. Regular motherfuckers can play the base game. Yeah, but then you gotta listen to these niggas, bro. I don't want to hear that shit, dog. They want to come over here and have a conversation. Yeah, I beat it too, man. That game was so easy. It was so easy. You check their achievements. They didn't beat half the bosses, bro. Was it easy? Like, because according to your achievements, it says you didn't actually experience the game. We didn't play the same thing. It changes the narrative. We're essentially playing two different things. That's my issue, bro. I don't get it, dude. I don't get it. I beat pre-nerf Radon before they nerfed the consort, bro. They're fucking frauds, dude. You got YouTube videos that give you tips on getting better. Niggas want to do everything but get better. And my question is, are you doing that in real life? Like, what's going on, bro? Did Flintlock have summons? I don't think it did, but Flintlock wasn't Flintlock was Diet Souls. That game was pretty easy. That game, you didn't need summons on that shit. Same motherfuckers buying fatality tokens. Fatality tokens. You can't press left, up, down, square. You got to press a fatality token. That's crazy. But I don't know. I listen to niggas who suck just by being in the community. The Souls community got more scrubs after being overhyped in 2012. It's more scrubs, man. Let's see what he says right here, though. Players are now debating why the game directors changed his mind with one writing. I would imagine it's a lot easier to say that you don't want to change the difficulty than being dated in negative reviews over it and have it constantly be brought up during discussions of your game and not have any urge to change it so a broader audience can enjoy what you made. I got into gaming around the age of 24. I'm using the easier difficulty setting because as much as I love Liza P, I have a major skill issue, and that's okay. If that's okay, then get better. I just thought it would be nice hearing why someone would reasonably want the difficulty settings. I never got to own any systems when I was a kid. Oh my God, woe is me. So now as a working adult, I don't have to play 10 plus years to get better skills. It doesn't take 10 years. I'm gonna be honest, with these Souls games, after about the first bosses, I'm usually pretty comfortable with the mechanics. You're 6 bosses in and you didn't get better, it's not for you, bro. And that's okay. It's not okay. This game was designed for flute players. You play guitar, go play guitar. Like, yeah, lock the fuck in, dude. Souls elitists don't want difficulty because they like bragging about their video game achievements. I'm glad Liza P is not servicing them. Oh my Lord. I want to see you say that after you play Sekiro. What point are you trying to make, Nixon? I beat Sekiro. It's on YouTube. I beat the final boss in like an hour. The game was easy. You said go play Rivals. You thought you got me with that one. It's literally on YouTube if you want to watch it. Yeah, I watched Sekiro. Like, what are we talking about here? Just hear me. What did I just walk into? A fraud. You hear me? I just stopped playing another game. Mugs just want to be part of it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the issue. You want to be part of the conversation. It's not like an elitist thing. The issue is you're ruining the painting. You want to be part of the conversation so much, you're changing the experience that people already love. My thing is, what's to say? Because you give people an inch, they take a mile. They're going to start changing even more things about it as these series go on. And next thing you know, you're not going to be able to recognize it because they listen too much to the casual audience. This is exactly what happened to Call of Duty. Like, you know, some things are supposed to be for casual. Some things are supposed to be for hardcore people. Like, that's not to say that someone who only watches Marvel movies can't enjoy Pulp Fiction, but a lot of times that might not be the same audience, to be honest. There are a lot of people who only go watch Marvel movies, bruh. Why does Pulp Fiction need to change? Why does John Q need to change? John Q is for people who want to think about something a little bit deeper, about what's wrong with the medical system in the United States. It's fucked up. It's a piece of art. Let the artists make what the fuck they want. And if you don't like it, don't consume it. Otherwise, you're going to end up having everything being the same. Just popped in. This is our likes for YouTube. For real, amen. I like the original Ghouls and Goblin game. That game was brutal as fuck. It was. I still like the game. It was. Why should Sinners be easier for you to understand? Facts. That's actually a great example of like something that just came out. Why should they dumb down Sinners? Every bad review I saw of Sinners, it came from people who didn't understand it. You could tell they didn't understand the movie. 5 out of 10. It was overhyped, bro. The action wasn't even that good. You didn't get anything else from that movie? Like, nah, I agree. Dark Souls is niche for a reason. Like, you never see me set up on this stream when I played Dark Souls 2 and I didn't like it. You never see me set up on this stream and say they need to change the game for me. I just said that shit wasn't for me. I don't want to fucking play that game, bro. I'm not gonna go ruin somebody else's. They should make Toyota Camrys more like fucking Lamborghinis, bro. Like, no, it's 2 different cars. People hate to critical think in this country. Shit is crazy. Let's see. Nah, not gonna lie, I disagree. If games like Devil May Cry and Ninja Gaiden can have it, why can't games like Lies of P have it? I don't understand what's the point of comparing Devil May Cry to a Souls game? 2 different genres. Devil May Cry is an action game, straight up action game. Like, it's 2 different genres with different sets of rules, so there's no point of even comparing it. You said, see, we're talking about Souls. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like this, you said point proven in real. My point was proven in real time. I'm not gonna lie. The IQ is dropping. The IQ is dropping. We're missing the plot. 2 different games. Oh boy. Hey man. I wish they would have asked this. If they want to put an easier difficulty in there, whatever. I wish they would have answered this question. Is hard the new normal, or is normal like the base game? That's what I would have asked them, because now I'm confused. How can I get the authentic experience? Mods ban anyone who doesn't know gaming. Mods ban them. Anyways, food for thought. That's gonna piss some people off. New trailer for Splitgate, open beta live right now. I actually downloaded it. Maybe I'll stream it next week or something. I don't know. I played the last beta. I enjoyed it. But Splitgate, if you want something to play that's free, it's out right now. Yo, shout out to Radio Raheem with the sub. Appreciate it. Wait, deadass? Yeah. I need to get my water out the refrigerator.
Your super chat is deeply appreciated. This money will go towards a 23andMe kit. I know I'm black, but I need a DNA test to reveal if I'm Taco Fall black or just Blake Griffin black. Your super chat is deeply appreciated. This money will go towards a 23andMe kit. I know I'm black, but I need a DNA test to reveal if I'm Taco Fall or just Blake Griffin black.
Shout out to Kick Ass with the super chat, and shout out to Shepherd Knight with the super chat. Appreciate you keeping it real, putting me onto them comics. Somebody got to do it, bro. I appreciate you, super chat. I know that channel exists. I don't really care, Kick Ass, but I appreciate you with the super chat. But yeah, this is free if you're looking for something to play.
One ideology I resubscribe to, and that's
Shout out to Shadow Prince with the sub.
Bring home the win.
Generic rap. This game is actually good. It does have the generic rap, but it actually is good. If you want a game where you can just decompress after work and run some rounds, this is a good game. Game is getting a review bomb for having a battle pass and $104 of DLC and server issues. Too long, but wait, say it ain't so. The beta was good. Don't tell me they fucked up on the launch. I gotta play it for myself and see. We gonna find out. Say it ain't so though, because I like the beta. Like when I played the last beta, I got this one play where I put a portal out and I ended up behind 2 people, got 2 headshots, 2 easy kills. Like when you use the portals correctly, it's very satisfying to outthink and outplay people. Check the Steam page. Let's see. Splitgate 2 Steam. Oh yeah, it does have mixed reviews. Say it ain't so. Let's see. Let's go. Can we filter to negative? No. What the fuck? Oh, I went to positive. Whoops. Anti-cheat does not let you run the game on Linux. Got a Linux nerd. Okay. You're on Linux, my nigga. This is why it's important to read the comments. Like, you're on Linux. Nobody cares. There's nothing. This is nothing like the original Splitgate. I disagree. I played it. I disagree. I'd actually argue it's too much like it. They all got a Linux support, bro. Come on into 2025, please. Yo, shout out to Oh So Wavy. Like you might as well have said, oh, there's no Windows 98 support. Like, what are you talking about, dude? Check the DLC. How you do that? I honestly don't know how they did it, but they managed to downgrade just about every aspect of the game from. So maybe the graphics doesn't even feel remotely similar to the original. I disagree. Gameplay is good, but also a lot of people are salty because of the servers. Now that I believe, like I can see, because they just dropped the beta out of nowhere today. I can see a world where like the servers weren't prepared for that. I feel like that's probably a valid argument, but some of this shit seems kind of dumb. I want to like it, but almost everything is a little bit not right. Okay. You don't like it because everything's not right. Tried it and honestly hated my first impressions. First things first, there's no ammo reserve drops on the ground, which means you can kill 27 people, let's say, and then run out of ammo for both guns. And mind you, the first rifle given pistol, because I don't remember running out of ammo. You can swap guns. Steam reviewers literally can't articulate what they don't like about games. He's like, yeah, it doesn't feel right. I hate to leave a negative review like this, but coming from the first Splitgate to this, it just feels like a cash grab. How is it a cash grab if it's a free-to-play game? Like, what? I'm gonna play the game and judge for myself. Just feels like a cash grab. It's free, nigga. It just came out today, and you don't have to buy the battle pass. What are you talking about, bro? Like, oh, brother. I suspect that server shit might be real though. Just yap it, dude.